What's good, YouTube? It's Butter and this Joe, man. Today, y'all, I'm back with another reaction, man. Today, y'all, we got Oakland's War Case versus Stubby. Y'all been waiting on this. I ain't gonna cap, but I definitely had to get to this show. Y'all, remember I was just telling y'all in the last vid it was up. Tell me why I had to run the fade. But no, though, best believe I got active. But I ain't even gonna cap, y'all. He did tap me, but he looked like a panda right now. It was a light skin boy. If I had the vid, I would have showed y'all, but the vid only showed the end. So, but what I was about to say. Oh yeah, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure y'all sub up, like up. We going on a run, 3 vids a day. So yeah, let's get it.
Usually gets all the attention when it comes to gang culture, but surprisingly, Oakland is also a violent city full of beef. A deadly war between two enemy groups, the Case Gang and Stubby Gang, has been terrorizing the streets of Oakland for close to 2 decades.
So they a little in it, early 2000s.
The beef got so crazy that authorities assembled a task force which included 27 different law enforcement agencies to put an end to the violence.
27 different agencies.
Let's take a closer look at this bloody war. Oakland has always been a major city for hip-hop. Tupac originally started his career in the Bay, and rappers like Too Short, Keek the Sneak, and MC Hammer put Oakland on the map in the 90s.
MC Hammer, I heard of
Oakland
him.
is the heart of the Bay Area, and
rest
has
though,
produced a lot of
Tupac.
talent, but it's also been named one of the most violent cities in America and has a long history of gang violence. 2 of the wildest gangs in Oakland are the Case Gang and Stubby Gang, also known as E&T. These groups have been at each other's necks for decades, and their beef has led to countless murders, shootouts, robberies, and other crimes. Stubby Gang was created around 2011 in East Oakland. Unlike LA, which has strict politics around who controls certain blocks and territories, gangs in Oakland are more spread out. Stubby Gang members are known to be found in the—
Yeah, bro, I swear every beef that I seen like on rap, everybody is close to each other. Like even EBK and them, O Block and 63rd, they a block away. Who else do I be reacting to? Well, not be reacting to, but just know of, period. Like everybody be close to each other.
the ghost town or the 70s, but can be located anywhere in East Oakland. They're also often known as E&T, which are the initials of 2 or 3 fallen members of the gang. The E and N stands for Edward Hampton and Nario Jackson, 2 17-year-old Stubby Gang members who were killed in 2010. There is some disagreement over what the T stands for. Some claim it's short for a 3rd fallen member of the group named Taliban, who was killed by Oakland police.
Oh, man,
Others say it
that ain't
stands for
never
team,
good.
as in Edward and Nario team. Even though Stubby Gang was founded over 10 years ago, all the original members have either died or gone to jail, making this a whole new wave of Stubby Gang members. Stubby Gang is also known as the Threes because E&T is 3 letters. They are affiliated with another local gang called the 2-letter gang, or just the Twos. The Twos and the Threes are known to beef with another East Oakland gang called the Fours, aka Case Gang.
Oh, okay.
The Case Gang is considered even more deadly than the Stubby Gang. They've been active on
So what you call it? Kai Benji 4 is Case, right? Did I react to any Stubby people yet, or do I need to? If I do, let me know, man.
the street since at least the 90s and were called the most terrifying gang in Oakland by police in the early 2000s. They were originally known as the Nutcases and have really managed to live up to that title. The group was led by a dude named Leon Wiley, who was sentenced to life in prison in 2008. Wiley, along with 8 other Case Gang members, were arrested in 2003 after a wild crime spree that lasted 10 weeks and resulted in 5 homicides and a bunch of robberies.
Wait, how many weeks? Oh, 10 weeks. That's still short time, though. I ain't gonna lie.
A crime spree that lasted 10 weeks and resulted in 5 homicides and a bunch of robberies.
2.5 months.
Wiley and his associates
2.5 months.
were accused of killing 5 innocent strangers, which included a 14-year-old, and participating in 9 robberies and 100 muggings.
Dang.
Wiley himself was accused of
Oh my-
participating in at least 3 of the murders.
Nah, they was menaces, bro. They was menaces, bro.
Prosecutors even blamed the game Grand Theft Auto for the violent crime spree. The nutcases admitted that they would get high and play GTA during the day, then go out night and live out the game in real life.
It work. Oh
After
my
being given a life
Bro, the prosecutor had a field day with them, bro.
sentence, Wiley shouted at the judge, "I don't give a f. I'm not scared of none of that shit. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
I got
Roofed.
nowhere to go. I'm Gotti. I'm Tweety. Nutcases." So clearly, he was on demon time and didn't care about the consequences of his crime spree. But just like Stubby Gang, most of the founding members of Case Gang are dead or behind bars. Today, a whole new generation of savages is roaming the streets.
Yep.
Most members of Case Gang are known to live in a neighborhood called Bossland, specifically the Hillside Apartments. but they can also be found in other parts of East Oakland.
So is some apartments or gardens or freaking grove, something like that, bro.
Just like their rivals. It's been rumored that the Nutcases were the dominant gang in Oakland in the 90s, and all the other local gangs were formed to go against them, including Stubby Gang.
Wait, was formed to go against Case? Hold on, I need to lock in, bro.
Oakland in the 90s, and all the other local gangs were formed to go against them, including Stubby Gang. Their beef goes back as far as the slaying of Edward Hampton and Nario Jackson, who were allegedly killed by someone affiliated with the Case Gang. This sparked a deadly war that continues to this day. The history of this beef is too bloody.
So it just sounds like Case overactive, cause all I've been hearing is how they getting busy.
To name all the individual hits and shootouts between the two gangs. But
like from this video alone, you could be like, they know what we get into, cause it's the proof in the pudding.
The violence got so bad that local police had to bring on the help of 27 different law enforcement agencies to take down the gangs in an investigation they called Operation Winstar.
More than 50 people arrested, 40 guns confiscated.
I thought it was
Today, investigators detailed a deadly gang war that spanned from Oakland to Antioch. They uncovered it during the investigation of a homicide last year.
During their investigation, authorities created a timeline of events.
Foley's wasn't even popping back then. This video came out 3 years ago. Foley's was not cracking how they is now.
That detailed a series of murders that began in January 2020 and led up to the present. A wave of shootings in the summer of 2020 would be the spark behind the investigation and eventually lead to a series of arrests in 2021. On June 25th, 2020, a 19-year-old member of Stubby Gang named Charles Bolden Jr. was shot on 77th Ave. Just 2 days later, shots were fired into the home of Case Gang member Donjay Young in Antioch, California. Antioch is a peaceful suburban city about 40 minutes from Oakland. The shooting was a huge surprise to neighbors and local law enforcement who were not used to that kind of violence in their neighborhood. Young barely survived the first shooting, only to be shot again just 13 days later outside his own home. He would survive the second time as well, only to be gunned down a few weeks later on August 29th, 2020.
They wanted him gone. Bro, 3 times. That's so crazy, bro. That's so crazy.
He would survive the second time as well.
He got hit in 2. Wait, when? Hold up, y'all. When was the first shooting again?
Enforcement who were not used to that kind of violence in their neighborhood. Young barely survived the first shooting, only to be shot again.
Bro, I didn't even see. You know what, forget it. But that's still crazy, though.
A few weeks later, on August 29th, 2020, the killer allegedly spotted him in front of his home in Antioch, chased him down, and shot him with an AR-style pistol. After he was hit, the killer then stood over him, letting off more shots to make sure that he was dead.
They definitely just painted that picture, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I know all of y'all just seen that in y'all head. That's why I said all like that, because that was crazy work. ARP, stand over.
Brutality of this murder would shock Antioch police, who had already been receiving complaints from residents. The crime rate in the area had spiked after a new Section 8 program had brought more low-income residents from Oakland into Antioch, so police were desperate to solve this murder before more happened again. They responded by launching a major investigation into the murder. The more they dug, the more they uncovered the blood trail left in the wake of the Case Gang, Stubby Gang beef. After reviewing surveillance footage from the area, they determined that Young's killers fled in a silver Ford Winstar minivan. This is where Operation
Winstar. They hopped out the van too, and wait, ain't Winstar the police? What?
Winstar truly began.
Oh, he said that's when the operation began. I thought that he said they hopped out a Winstar minivan.
TVU's Andre Sr. joins us now live with the details of what was called Operation Winstar. Andre.
And good evening to you, Julie. The reason it was called Operation Winstar because of the minivan that was seen driving away from the scene of the murder that touched off this whole investigation.
An eyewitness who saw the shooting was able to help authorities create a sketch of the alleged killers. This eventually led police to the father-son duo of Charles Bolden Jr., age 19, and Charles Bolden Sr., age 42.
Police arrested 7 people, among them a father and
I hope the dad was the driver and not the slaughter.
And son, 42-year-old Charles Bolden and his 19-year-old son.
If you 42 years old still trying to stand over somebody, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Bro, that's crazy work, bro. You gotta go pay the YNs to do that, bro.
Of the same name. Authorities say the investigation has led to the arrests or identities of 36 adults and 15 juveniles from both gangs who are connected to drug sales, violence, and murder.
The son was the Stubby Gang affiliate who was shot on 77th Ave. just 2 days before Donjay Young was shot for the first time. So it seems like Junior was out for revenge and took his father with him to finish the job. This led authorities to realize that this was not just a random crime, but a decade-long gang beef that was being passed from one generation to the next. Just 2 days after Young was murdered, 2 Stubby Gang members were allegedly shot at more than 56 times with an AR-15, but both would survive. Not long.
How you miss a whole 100 shot? Bro, but missing 56 is crazy though, bro. You're fired. You're fired.
Long after, a memorial was held for Donjay Young outside the house in Antioch where he was killed. Stubby Gang members pulled up to the scene and let off at least 13 shots, but luckily, no one was hit. The same house would be shot up again months later in December 2020.
Who crib is that? Bro, they flaming that joint, bro. They really flaming that crib.
Young's family was home at the time, but no one was seriously injured.
Oh, Young's crib.
February 27th, 2021, a 21-year-old Case Gang member was pumping gas at a gas station in Antioch when a Stubby Gang member hopped out of a car and started shooting at him. Other Case Gang members with the victim at the time started firing back. The victim was shot a total of 10 times, but
who was the victim? Was the victim Case or Stubby? Because they said they was blowing back, so anybody could have been the victim.
Survived after being rushed to the hospital. Case Gang wouldn't waste any time with the payback and would shoot up a known ENT spot later that same day. No one was hit, but police were already on.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I just feel like, bro, I'm not the type. I'm not going to shoot up no cribs. I'm not shooting up no houses, bro. If I was into it like them, it's people only. Why are you, like, it could be anybody in that crib. It could be anybody in that place. Like, that's why I don't be beef with people like that. But for people that do, y'all be moving stupid.
On high alert for possible gang activity and would end up detaining the suspects after a long foot chase. A total of 7 Case Gang members were caught, along with multiple weapons. Police were able to determine that the bullets and the guns they recovered
and them Jones was probably dirty. Oh my God.
Matched the shell casings found in the parking lot of the gas station, proving that the 2 shootings were related. Just 10 days after that, in March 2021, Stubby Gang members would be looking for payback. They would sit outside the home of a Case Gang member on Aspen Way in Antioch all day, just waiting for the right moment to strike.
Was camping on that drop. Sitting on that joint.
When their target finally stepped outside to get into a vehicle, they popped out and started letting off shots. Both the target and the person driving the car were hit.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You can't say nothing about Case, bro. They really get busy, bro. Like, bro, what?
Had to be airlifted to the hospital, but survived. The city of Antioch is much different than East Oakland.
They not checking out. They done robbed everybody and they spank. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I'm only seeing Case catching wreck.
And residents had no issues cooperating with the police. They submitted surveillance footage.
That's G.
Eyewitness testimony.
Whoa, no it ain't. They said they had no problem. I thought they said they didn't.
Had no issues cooperating with the police.
In the chat.
They submitted surveillance footage, eyewitness testimony, and all kinds of other evidence to help police stop the violence in the community.
That eyewitness testimony sound crazy, bro.
With this information, police were able to obtain search warrants to raid the homes of suspected gang members in Oakland and Antioch. During the search, they recovered over 40 firearms and more than $100,000 in cash. This also led to the arrest of Stubby Gang members Eric Wyndham and Keyshawn McGee for the shooting that
they keep getting swept off the streets. That's why.
Occurred on Aspen Way in March. They also assembled a fugitive task force to take down other members of the gang who were still on the run. They pulled over a suspect named Trent Allen, who ended up getting out of his car and fleeing the scene on foot before being questioned by police.
I got another question, bro. What do y'all think the police be doing when they, like, cease all the drugs and the guns and everything? Bro, they gotta be putting them right back on the street, because where is it going? They just putting it in a vault, in a stash, burning it? No. They put that joint right back on the street, and all them pipes too. Well, no, the pipes probably going to like an auction or something, but they getting back out there, and they using that money to fund all their stuff, bro. Bro, it's wicked, bro. They put the stuff on the street for the people to sell it in the low-income neighborhoods, and then this what the stuff that happens.
After a long chase through an office park and a residential neighborhood, he was eventually taken into custody. They also located 2 suspects, Terrion and Armani Pugh, who were hiding out at a safe house in American Canyon, California. Terrion tried to flee, but was later captured, and Armani was taken without any issues. They were all arrested for their involvement in the Aspen Way shooting. Terrion Pugh was also linked to the gas station shooting that occurred 10 days earlier and hit with separate charges. Operation Winstar was considered a major success that managed to take down several high-ranking members of both gangs.
Dang.
In total, 36 members were identified and arrested for crimes.
So this what I'm gonna say. If they been on that, Kai Benji and them, boy, y'all better lay low and stay out the city, cause the feds is on that.
Including murder, assault, robbery, and possession of illegal firearms and narcotics. It seems like Stubby Gang got a little too cocky and started doing dirt outside of their own city. It's easier to get away with street activities in the hood, where residents are either bound by the street code or scared to cooperate with authorities. But when you start doing drive-bys in the suburbs, you have to expect that the neighbors are gonna snitch.
Yup.
Hopefully, this investigation puts an end to the war between Case and Stubby Gang now that they know they're being watched.
And this,
Too many people have already been killed in this deadly beef. But with so many lives lost, it seems like the war will continue once the heat dies down.
So y'all, this was
Get a load.
that's that Stubby versus Case Joan, but that came out 3 years ago. So we gotta get an updated one. If y'all know an updated one, man, drop that Joan down below so we could do like a part 2 or something. Cause 3 years ago, the rap was cracking, but I know it wasn't as cracking as it was now. Or it probably was. But we gonna see, man. But yeah, though, man, if y'all enjoyed this, make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe, smash that like button, hit notification bell, man. Yeah, it's Butter. I'm gonna catch y'all next one. I'm out this show.
Chains in these watches, boy, we real ice. Hands out the window, bam, 10 and a pair of Nikes. Bustin' balls, I'm in Cali every week with it. Brody, what I told you about.